You are absolutely lying if this question does not bother you. You are lying, rude boy, especially if you've either never been married before or never been in a relationship before. The only type of men that are less concerned with this question is men who've had many women, men who are very experienced with women, and men who've racked up a number of 5-star Google ratings with women. These are the only type of men that are not really too fazed by this question. But for the majority of you watching right now, who most probably has little to no experience with women, this question bothers you to the nth degree. What if she's had a bigger D before me? This is a serious issue for most of you guys. So we're going to get into it. I'm going to give you 3 simple pointers so that you can soothe your mind and deal with this issue. 3 simple pointers to help you overcome this psychological hurdle, this mental hurdle, and to put you in the best possible stead with your missus, with your wife. And frankly speaking, the third point is the most important. But pay attention to the first 2 anyway. Number 1, masturbating is killing your erections, okay? It is killing your erections. Let me explain to you why. When you masturbate and you hold your private part in your hand in this way, you're able to apply an amount of pressure on your private part that you would not normally be able to apply. And if you get into some type of masturbation addiction, because the more you masturbate, the more desensitized you become, you end up squeezing and holding it even tighter, which only compounds the problem, which makes you even less sensitive. Now, by the time you actually come to being intimate with a woman, you're going to be all floppy, bruv. And you are right to worry about whether she's had a more satisfactory experience than you in the past, because you're going to be floppy. Even once you climax, you reach the moment of climax, you will be climaxing all floppily. It's disgraceful. And the reason why is simple. It's because your member has become accustomed to being aroused through a very specific type of pressure. The pressure generated in your hand. Gorilla grip pressure. No woman, all right? No woman's private part is able to mimic or recreate the tightness in between her legs that you have been able to create in your hands, even if you're not particularly strong. The pressure created from this grip is nowhere near as tight as the pressure created from what a woman has between her legs, even if she's a virgin, even if she's tighter than the normal girl. Bruv, it's not like this gorilla grip here. So stop masturbating, bruv. It's dead. It's dead. Number 2, cardio is king, my friend. Yes, a high level of cardiovascular endurance is not only good for your health and your blood pressure and your resting heart rate and your cholesterol, it's good for your endurance in the bedroom, my friend. You want to know why? Because the more effectively your heart can pump blood around the body, oxygenated blood, the more effectively it will also pump blood to your private part. Lo and behold, who would have thought? Hallelujah. Praise the Lord. Equally, when you're unhealthy, you're fat, you're out of shape, maybe you smoke weed. Weed is, by the way, it's ma'roof, known that weed is the member killer. It's the penis destroyer. Weed kills you down below. Erectile dysfunction for days, bro. For days. But even if you just smoke normal cigarettes or whatever, that plaque buildup that is building up in your arteries over time and is creating pressure in between your arteries as the blood passes through, which is why your blood pressure increases in the first place. It is also hindering the amount of blood you are able to shunt towards your private part and trap. Now, this is what is very important now, because trapping the blood in the private part is what enables you to go on for longer. And a lot of men, part of their erectile dysfunction issues is that they're able to get an erection, but they're not able to trap the blood. And one reason, it could be a number of different reasons, but one reason as to why you're unable to trap blood in your private part is because you're just unhealthy. You're too out of shape. Your cardiovascular capacity is embarrassing, and therefore by extension you're unable to hold blood in your private part. And let me tell you something, there is nothing worse than not being able to hold an erection for a meaningful period of time. There is nothing more emasculating than that feeling. There is nothing worse than trying to do the deed with your wife and little man down there is literally little, tiny man. He's not responding. It's extremely embarrassing and humiliating and emasculating. So stop the weed and stop the smoking and get on the treadmill. And I'm not talking about no brisk walk. No, run, bruv. Get on a bike and sweat. Can you keep your heart at an elevated rate, say between 140 to 150 beats per minute for half an hour to an hour? Can you do that? Can you? Most of you will find that you cannot. And that is affecting your ability to last longer. And finally, and most importantly, I would say, most importantly, is that if you're dealing with a woman who has been married before or she has had a sexual experience before, first of all, you're going to want to be careful as to what capacity you are choosing to engage with her. Are you engaging with her from the viewpoint, which most of you will, that I want to marry this woman and have a family with her and so on? If that's the case, let me just settle this for you right here, right now. Her sexual past is important. It is absolutely important for a number of reasons. Her ability to pair bond, number one. Number two, the memories that haunt her. The memories that haunt her. If she's had her soul taken by Philip from Botswana, yeah? And you're just like average dude, average guy, I don't know, bro. That memory of Philip from Botswana is gonna be inside her mind. It is important. And don't underestimate this. This is serious. It is important. Now, if you're looking at marrying her from a no strings nikah perspective, it's a misyar type of arrangement, then it becomes less important, frankly speaking. You're not intent on having children with her. She's already had kids from multiple baby daddies for that matter. Who cares, bruv? Big man thing, who cares? All right? But if you want to make a family with her and settle down with her and so on, then her sexual past matters, and that is something you are going to have to take into account. However, gentlemen, and listen to me very carefully, okay? If she's had a sexual past, or indeed if she hasn't had a sexual past, but perhaps you are below average in the member department size, yeah? And it doesn't take much to please a woman. 5 inches is more than enough. But for those of you who maybe are smaller than that, maybe some of you have a micro penis, and it is what it is, you know. Some men have that. Then I need you to bear in mind this law of power, taken directly from the 48 Laws of Power, Robert Greene's book, and that is, disdain the things you cannot have. Disdain them. Do you know how value is created? Why is it that you are quite literally able to create digital art, put it online, and it potentially sell for millions? How? How is that? Why is that? Something that fundamentally has no tangible value. In fact, it doesn't even exist. It's a graphic. It's an online thing. Can sell for millions. How? Why? Because millions of people around the world unanimously agree that this thing has value. That's how value is created. Value is precisely what human beings decide value is. Value is the very reason why paper money has value, because in essence, it is utterly worthless. But we unanimously agree that this £5 note or this $10 bill has value, and therefore you are willing to trade real world goods for that $10 bill, or whatever the case may be. So value is what you decide value is. Equally, if you decide to warrant value in what your woman is potentially saying to you, then that criticism of hers will grow and become bigger and more significant. Equally, if you choose to disdain the things you cannot have, oh, but I'm used to 8 inches, 9 inches. I'm not saying she's going to say that, but maybe she's thinking it. The more value you give it, the more you show that you've been hurt by this criticism, which is the normal reaction from most men, the bigger the thing grows. There's a saying in Arabic, and I always get the grammar wrong, but I'm going to say it anyway. من كبر شيئا فيكبر ومن صغر شيئا فيصغر. Whoever makes a big deal out of something, it will become a big deal. And whoever minimizes and makes small out of something, it will become small. If you show that it's affecting you and you are really feeling insecure by this, then that criticism of hers is going to grow. It's going to grow in her mind, and it's going to grow in your mind. But if you just brush it off, okay, so what? Oh, okay. You had a bigger or whatever before. Minimize. Make light of the matter. Because ultimately, you've got what you got, bro. There are things you can do, jelking and other such things that I've heard of, to increase your size. But ultimately, you've got what you've got. You can enhance yourself a little bit through these exercises, but you've got what you've got. So disdain the things you cannot have. It is the perennial pose of the powerful. I will tell you this, though. It is extremely satisfying. Extremely satisfying when you're being intimate with your woman to the point where she has been able to get so much pleasure from you that now she is asking you to hurry up and finish. I'm not gonna lie, that does massage your ego beautifully, and the only way that you're gonna be able to stand a chance of experiencing that is paying attention to points 1 and 2. Pay attention to points 1 and 2, your cardio, and stop masturbation. In fact, the only thing that strokes your ego more than your woman who says to you, okay, you know, can we hurry up and finish? I'm kind of getting tired now. The only thing that strokes your ego more than that is when 2+ of your wives say the exact same thing to you. And if you want to know how to get to that level, gentlemen, then you're gonna have to subscribe to the channel, because I haven't even created that video yet. That video is a video for the future, inshallah ta'ala. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell on. For now though, there is no doubt that there is an inextricable link between testosterone and erectile performance, your ability to perform in that regard. And if you want to know how to increase your testosterone naturally without taking any performance enhancing drugs or anything of the sort, then check out the video here.